Imagine you're an ER doctor in an ER room and an ambulance pulls up and your staff will not permit you into the triage room. The reason is the patient is your spouse. The medical staff clearly knows that being too close to the patient could cloud your judgment due to the emotional stress of the situation. So what does that have to do with today's subject, preparing to sell your home? Well, stick around and let's find out. Treating your spouse or selling your house, they both require an objective assessment, not an emotional one. Strategies for preparing your home for sale. Preparing your home for sale, I call it the big challenge. What comes to mind when planning your home for sale? Well, it depends. It depends on what stage you are in the selling process. There are many tasks to consider when selling a home. If you're at the early stage and your focus is on preparing the physical house, in a few minutes we'll discuss strategies for preparing your home for sale. Okay. If you're in the marketing stage and you're looking for an effective marketing strategy, check out my upcoming video, Marketing Your Home for Sale. It presents a pathway to several effective marketing strategies that will get you positioned based on your own situation. Oh, by the way, if you like this material, give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. Leave a comment. Feedback is always welcome. Your feedback helps me to get to know what viewers want, and it provides me information to improve the site. Now let's get started with strategies for preparing your home for sale. Preparing your home for sale. Depending on the current condition of your home, you may consider the following. You may want to take a home inventory of needed repairs or upgrades to get top dollar for your home. Or maybe you want to perform minimal work, maybe a thorough cleaning and light repairs and painting will suffice. Others just want to sell as is without any repairs or upgrades. Well, regardless of the condition of your home, the same pathway applies as you prepare your home for sale. First, get reacquainted with your property as well as the current market conditions. Well, with that statement, you might take a pause at that statement. You're probably saying to yourself, I live here. What do you mean, get reacquainted? Well, I'm saying get to know your property from a buyer's perspective. By knowing your audience, you will be more inclined to know what is important to them and what they want. This is about them, the buyer. So put on your memory hat. I will do that right now. I'll put on my memory hat and think back to when I first purchased my home. You think back when you first purchased your home. You may have been in your home anywhere from 10 to 30 years or more. And during that time period, the neighborhood, the environment, and the technology have all changed. Have you thought about how your property adjusted to these changes over time? I'll give you some examples. Okay, area schools, are they better or worse than when you first purchased? How do they compare to other schools in the surrounding areas? Has pollution become an issue? Some neighborhoods are impacted by underground storage tanks causing hydrocarbon ground contamination. Have you experienced this situation? Also, with today's electronics and electric vehicles, a 100 amp service may have been suitable 20 years ago, but today 200 amp may be the minimum standard. So what sold you on your home when you bought it? And what features did you like? Are these features still desirable, or are they now functionally obsolete? And here's what I mean by that. When I think in 73, my father purchased a new home. And we had this intercom system in there with at the front door. It was this intercom system. You could press the button, people could hear you inside, you could communicate. That was interesting back then. It was neat. But now that's gone away. You get Ring doorbell And not only do you have the communication feature, you can watch your postman deliver mail, and you also can watch from your home a thief stealing a package and running away from it from your house. You have that opportunity. Okay? So the question is, the features of your home, how have they withstood the test of time? You know, that's something to consider. Have you performed many upgrades since you purchased your home? If you were to stay in your home another 5 years, is there anything you would change? Now, why would I be asking this question? Well, if you recognize needed upgrades, there's a good chance that a prospective home buyer will acknowledge it as well. Now, for a moment, pretend to be a buyer and look at your house through the eyes of a buyer. Look at your house from that perspective. Rate your home from 1 to 10, 1 being the poorest condition, 10 being excellent. Does this assessment give you any ideas? If so, what ideas come to mind? Also, what would it take for your house to become a 10? Well, the other question you might want to ask, do you need to make your house a 10? Okay. My suggestion, perform a walkthrough of your property. Create a list of repair items you feel will add value, okay, that will lead to a higher price point if they were remediated. The list does not have to be extensive. You know, for some people, a thorough cleaning and minor repairs with a little paint may suffice, okay? The goal is to position your home to yield the highest return on investment for the expended effort measured in time and materials. Question is, so how do I get there? Okay. First, you should perform some research to identify the price point to comparable homes sold in your neighborhood over the past 6 months. Or maybe just have your realtor provide this information for you. This is a good starting point. In your assessment, look at these property conditions and compare it to your property. This will give you an idea of a price range for which your house may sell. Okay. In starting to evaluate your property, you need to step back and make an honest assessment of your findings based on our earlier discussion. You'll need to perform a little research to determine the level of work should you decide to perform upgrades. Okay, here's an example. Let's say your home assessment suggests a $400,000 sale price. But if you perform some kitchen upgrades and bathroom upgrades based on comparable sales in your neighborhood, you could yield maybe $475,000. Say the upgrade cost is $25,000 to $30,000 range. All right. You have to determine if this added investment is worth it for you. Remember, there is no right or wrong answer, and here's why. Consider the following in your plan. Consider the following if you plan to go ahead with the upgrades. Are you comfortable with contractors, with working with contractors? Okay. Is the lead time to secure a contractor to do the work reasonable for your project? Are the supplies readily available, or are they backordered with uncertain delivery dates? Okay. Do you have the money to make the repairs, or do you negotiate payment terms with the contractor when the house is sold? Again, these are different suggestions that may present you with options, allowing you to make an informed decision to best suit your needs. Again, let me stress, there is no right or wrong answer. Ultimately, you have to feel comfortable with the decision based on your need. I hope I gave you a few things to think about as you prepare your home for sale. Send me any questions on the comments feed and I'll get back to you quickly. Until next time, this is Harry Bandy from Senior Real Estate Solutions. You have a great day.